Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Nunes, and I'm excited to work with you today. So we are going to be doing sketch notes on point of view. So you can see I have my paper and some markers. You can do colored pencils or just your pencil. But as I go along, I would love for you to sketch along with me and take down your notes. When you are finished, you are going to upload a picture on the slide that you found this video so we can see all of your amazing work. So here we go. First off, this week is focused on point of view, so we always need some sort of title somewhere on the paper. I'm just going to put it at the top for me today. So, point of view. That is our title, and we can have that stick out as we like, however we'd like to write it. The camera's going sort of weird, which is a lot of annoying. I always like to do just a little line so I know that that separates it from everything else. So we have that there. Then let's talk about it. What is point of view? Point of view is who is telling the story. It's where they're viewing it from. So who is telling the story and who is narrating. So I'm going to write who is telling the story. Who is narrating. So we have that written text, and there someone is always telling the story in some kind of viewpoint from their point of view. So there are three different kinds: first person, second person, and third person. So I'm going to draw what looks like glasses, because we all look out of glasses, right? They could be colored glasses, sunglasses, regular spectacles, or just glasses in general. So I'm going to draw just some glasses here. Just simple like that. And this is going to be all about the first person. So first we're going to just go in order, first, second, third. So first person point of view. What is first person point of view? But it is as so. So I'm going to give you a couple bullet points. One of them being that the narrator, so who is telling the story, who's the narrator, who's narrating, the narrator is a character in the story. So is a character in the story. Also, they are part of the action. So when we are talking about who is doing what, they are actually part of it. They are part of the action. Lights, camera, action. Okay. Then the narrator uses words like, so uses words like I, me, my, I, me, my. I am going to the store. It is my choice. We, or let's, it was all of us. It is our house. We are going to the movies. Now, as the reader, if I'm reading this story in first person, the reader only knows what the narrator, what they see. So reader knows what the narrator knows, sees, and thinks. All right, then over here, I'm just going to put me right here because that is all about me, that first person. Because if I was telling a story, I'd be that first person, right? It comes directly from me. So it is that first person. It's not coming from my mom. It's not coming from my sons. It's not coming from my husband. It's being told directly to me. All right, let's go to a second point of view. So first, now second. Drawing my other glasses. Looks like a little bit bigger there, Mrs. Nunes. It's okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so first, second. Gonna draw second. Color it in here a little bit to make it stick out. Second. All right, so my second point of view is going to be as follows. Second comes from you. So we have the main word that should stick out is you. This isn't often, you don't see it that often, you don't read about it that often. Really, it's uncommon to have a second point of view. These are more like your how-to books, so it tells you what to do, or choose your own adventure kind of books, like what do you do now? This happens and this happens, but it's up to you. So things like that. Then the narrator is not directly addressing or is not part of the story. So the narrator directly addresses, directly talks to you, directly talks to the reader. In this case, so up here we had first person that they are part of the action, they are part of the story. In second point of view, you actually are part of the story. So the narrator makes you part of the story. The narrator makes you part of the story. Forgot my little asterisks here. Little stars. And then uses words like you, your, yours. I'm going to put another little asterisk over here and put not common. Think how-to books. Oops, books. All right. Now we have first person, second person. I said we were going in order. There's one more to do. So it is third person point of view. Draw my other glasses over here. My lens. What I see through. And this is going to be third. First, second, and third. 3 to remember. Me, you, and what pronoun do we have left but something like he or she? He or she. So we have those third person point of views using words like that, and we'll get into more detail when we get those notes. He or she. Here we go. We are going to have in this one, forgot my little loop-de-loo here. Loop-de-loo. The narrator is not part of the story. So the narrator is not part of the story, is not a character in the story. In fact, they are removed from the action. So they don't do any part. It's just that they're telling all about it. They are removed from any action. If any of you have ever taken, like you've been somewhere and you're telling like a friend what happened. So, oh my gosh, I was out on the playground and do you know what happened? He said this to him and then he kicked the ball really hard and then she caught the ball and he was out. That's telling the story. Like I'm not part of the action, but I saw it happen. So I'm removed, but I'm still saying the he and she and using those kind of pronouns. So uses words like he, she, they went to the store, it's all about them, him, her, their, etc. This is the part where it's telling the story. Tells the story. Okay, so what I'd like to show you real quick, I know you're hanging in with me for some time, but here are sketch notes so you can look back on this to take more notes. You're going to upload your picture up to the slide, but I just want to give you some more examples before you dive right in because this is all you have to do today, but you may be familiar with this book, Green Eggs and Ham. This actually is told in the first person. So the narrator is a character and it's coming from their point of view. It's all about them. They're part of the action. So if I were to look in this book, it says, not in a box, not with a fox. I would not eat them here or there. I would not eat them anywhere. I would not eat green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam. I am. So it's very clear it's all about them. You can think of it as selfish, right? I'm telling a story all about me. So it uses the I or me. Or if someone's with me, us or we. Then a second example, so we go to second point of view, we should see you. You, like I said, is a little bit different and uncommon, but you may have seen a book similar to this. If you give a mouse a cookie. Of course, there's lots of different versions of this book now, but if you were to open it, you should see something like he's going to ask for a milk. It does say he's, but initially it's all about if you were to do the giving. When you give him the milk, then this is going to happen. If you give him a cookie, this is going to happen. So it's like a how to or what if. Also, a different one is any how-tos, like this is what you do. Maybe a step-by-step, even though it doesn't directly say you, but it's telling you what to do. You are creating the story. Then you have your third person point of view, which is generally what you probably read. So if the character or the narrator is not part of the story, something like maybe this, you might have seen Franklin's before wants a pet. If I were to open it, Franklin waited until morning before asking his parents if they had finished thinking yet. Now you do see dialogue. So a tip I'm going to give you when you're trying to figure out whose point of view it is, take out any dialogue. So if I take this out, because the dialogue may confuse me because it's saying we need to know. But if we, then that becomes first person. But really I have someone telling me the story about Franklin. So if you take out the dialogue, then I have this next sentence. Franklin nodded his head up and down. Notice it's calling the main character by a name, and it's not saying I or you or we, things like that. It's calling characters by name. So the narrator is not part of this story and is telling you about it. Franklin nodded again. He almost said please 100 times in a row, but he stopped himself. So just a little tip, keep that dialogue out. All right, so again, we have first, all about me. Second, all about you. Third, about other people. So you should do your notes one more time. Please be sure to come back and look. You can watch it as many times as you'd like, and then you will take a picture of your notes and upload it. Thank you for spending this time with me. I know it was a little bit longer, but I'll see you soon.